Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSR TV. Alex Simpson, Andrew Woodhouse here for rounds 13, 14 and 15 of the BSRTC Championship. We're coming today from Summit Point. Just trying to remember what happened last time at Summit Point. We were having a little conversation, I think, of carnage here, there and everywhere, so we expect to see all the same again, but we're hoping we'll have some great racing mixed in there with it. Mr. Woodhouse, you're not feeling the best today, are you, buddy? So we'll try and keep your involvement down to a minimum. But yeah, no laughing on the stream, please.
No, not really. But still excited for the race. But apologies in advance if I sound a bit ropey.
Just having a very, very quick look at qualifying. Ashley Sutton took pole position from Andreas Katz, Daniel Hunt, David Baker, Simon Field, Dan Kraft, Ben Palmer in 7th, Robert Fagg in 8th, Slemensky in 9th, and Pete Newman round out your top 10. Just to quickly touch on the standings while the drivers start to grid up. Andreas Katz leads the championship on 272 points from David Baker on 244. Dan Kraft is just 4 points behind in 3rd place with 240. Your current points leader is Steve Hevert with 166 points. Oh, sorry, that was last week's top scorers. Way off.
It
there,
was.
Well,
I've got the Katz, Field, Baker, Hunt, Kraft. Yeah. Is the top, and Ashley Blakewood is the top hand driver.
Well, at least I give some useful information anyway. What an epic fail!
Good job, I had the information up for once.
Yeah, and this is why I don't introduce anything. So yeah, Ashley Baker, Robert Plumley, and Paul Smith, the AM top 3 as well. Pete Newman Media, Lugnuts, and Oculus Rift are the top 3 of the teams. Right, Sutton qualified this week, Andrew, so hasn't got to try and fight his way through from the back. That didn't work too well last time out, so let's see if he can pull away. Just less than 1/10 of a second separate him and Katz in qualifying, so I expect it to be quite close.
He made some headway last time, but we're about to see whether he can convert pole into the win, Alex.
Yeah, lights are coming on here at Summit Point. We are racing here. For round 13 of the BSRTC. It looks like a slow start from Katz. We could almost be 3 wide. Oh, that's going to be a little bit tasty going into turn 1. Let's keep an eye on that.
Oh, there's a melee. There's a melee at the back, Alex. Melee. As they went 3 wide, and Sutton very late on the brakes as normal. But he's gone wide. He's lost it. Oh, and that's going to be a close call with the safety car coming out. Did Sutton stay in front of Andreas Katz?
Oh, he did, by the looks of it. Straight
Daniel
back
Hunt,
past.
sorry. Daniel Hunt.
Yeah, straight back pass. So I'm guessing, guessing the safety car is going to allow him through. So
there was only centimeters in that, as who was actually in the lead at the time.
A huge crash at the back as well, and rightly so. The safety car brought out on that one. I think actually we need to go back even further. I think it's already happened.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm, Jay Wright,
just that.
Kevin Noon involved. We need to go back and definitely see what occurred there.
Trying to see who or where it was. Just having a look now.
Somewhere in the sort of the last third. It was around sort of about where Robert Graham was. Let's see. Oh yeah, Janowski. Janowski tapped.
One of the Oculus cars just span in the middle, and they're trying to reverse down the straight.
Hefford. It's Hefford.
Yeah.
Janowski tapped Hefford into Plumley. And then, oh gosh. And then, Kevin Noon was in the middle of that. Paul Smith got hit. I think Laura Bond managed to get through. A few of the guys at the back, Eckhart Van Glan managed to squeeze through as well, I think. So,
yeah, got a few drivers, sorry, just down, where are we? Just waiting for them. Yeah, Scott Malcolm, Kevin Noon, Jay Wright, like I said, they've all retired back to the pits. So, I'm guessing they're going to be able to get the cars repaired and get back out there, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them, I wouldn't think.
Was it just a case, do you think, of being a tight, it's quite a tight straightaway section and off the start?
Yeah, it is quite close, and there was a couple of cars that didn't get the best of starts there as well, and then when you're trying to go 2-3 wide in that first bit, it just leads to what we saw, really. when we were talking about it, we were expecting a little bit of carnage. Circuit is very, very narrow, pretty much everywhere, and one real overtaking opportunity. I guess the second hairpin is also doable as well. But yeah, it's certainly gonna cause a few incidents today. I'm sure the reverse grid's gonna be the tasty ones.
Quite an old-fashioned American road course, isn't it, in terms of layout? And yeah, it seems that certain places of this track, it's you've got to be brave. It reminds me a bit of Alton, in a way, in how narrow it is, and now you've got the grass surrounding the track. So we'll see. I mean, is the safety cars not coming in this time as of yet? But the guys are going to have to be careful, mate, because could turn the lights off at any point.
Yeah, exactly. We've just gone past the pit lane, so we are going to have another lap under the caution here at Summit Point.
What do you make of this front battle then, mate? What's going to...
Yeah, well, I think like we saw last week, Katz is certainly driving with a slightly different mindset out there. He knows that this is a good opportunity for him to win the championship. We fast approaching halfway through the season now as well, so I think while he will want to get up and race Sutton, and his teammate obviously shouldn't be too much of a problem. I definitely think he's going to give him an air of caution and just be a little bit just a little bit cagey when he makes his moves. I think as long as he's not being absolutely hammered from behind, then I think he'll take his time and maybe even sit there and take second if nobody else is really challenging him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he showed some good caution, didn't he, last week? And he has all the way through the season. So we've got Baker there sitting in fifth. Fourth place. He's going to be an interesting spectator here. I wonder, does Dave Baker have the same mindset as Katz, Alex? What do you think?
I think Dave's always got that mindset, hasn't he? He always seems to drive with a very sensible head on top of his shoulders and never really rushes into anything. So I think that's why he won last year more than anything, because he drove with that from the word go. I mean, he didn't win that many races last season, and
I think it was 2 races, maybe 3.
Yeah, and still was fairly comfortable in the end. So yeah, I think maybe a few drivers just learned from Dave what was going on last season and thought, well, I can do that as well. I don't have to get involved in half of these little ruckuses here and there, and potentially fight for the championship as well.
I'm just going to look at some people who've improved their position off the start. Newman's at 1 place, Robert Fagg's at 1 place. Blake Hood's gained 1 place, Robert Graham 4, Ellis Stevens 2, John Roberts 4, Gordon Wilson 5, Laura Bond 8 positions, Colin Steele 9, Martin Brandon 9 as well. So yeah, it really was just the back half of the field that was properly decimated by that as we're about to go green flag racing again.
Yeah, lights off. The safety car has ducked itself into pit lane. Sutton actually launched it just before the final turn. Did wonder whether or not he was going to do it after that, but yeah, gone early. That can spread the pack out just a little bit, actually going into turn 1, which is probably a good thing.
Got a lovely big gap. That's one thing you'll be definitely happy about.
Yeah,
is anybody challenging into turn 1? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, there is
further back. A couple of red cars battling.
It seems to be a bit further back. So just take a look. Everybody else pretty. In fact, teammates there.
I think it's Dan Blake and Matt Walker actually.
Yep. So that's going to be all good.
Blake of VOR and Fusion's. It's actually John Bays for Fusion. Very similar liveries there, Alex.
Yeah, all 3 drivers.
Always going for it. Actually, is Dan Blake, and he almost made that stick. Then he almost got John Bays napping a little bit.
Yeah, those guys pretty much nip and tuck at the moment. Oh, into the second hairpin, just about sort of make some room there, and it looks like
passed by Blake.
Yeah, it looks like Bays there just left enough room just to make sure nothing else happened.
Bit going on slightly further back as well. Quite a big train. Last 6 or 7 positions. Martin Brandon at the front of that. He's an EOR driver as well. He's Fusion as well. ahead of Richardson, then Janowski, who was involved in that earlier contact. Eckart von Glan, Steve Hefford, Robert Plumley, and the badly damaged car Jay Wright is off the back of the field at the minute, 1 lap down.
Yeah, we did unfortunately lose Scott Malcolm and Kevin Noonan as well, so 3 drivers out there really struggling. Robert Plumley seems to be up to pace, but just onto the back of this pack, down in 20th place at the moment, so he's okay and survived.
Hudson's not really stepping on it at the minute, is he?
No, just really, six tenths of a second away. In fact, all the front guys just seem to be keeping there or thereabouts with each other. No one's really battling too hard or anything. So
2013 F1 race, they're all saving the tyres.
Might have lost someone. Is that Gordon? Yeah, Gordon Wilson there, struggling out there. He's in the gravel trap at the moment.
2 Fusion teammates side by side, Alex. That's is John Bays and Matt Walker picking up the whole Summit Point track. There's always contact actually there, and off goes Robert Graham, I believe. As now Ashley Blake Hood is going to come and have a look. Blake Hood, who's been up in the top 10 this season, he's won a race, Alex, and can't see him being there for that long. In fact, at all, because he's going to go straight through. Yeah,
obviously Hood is leading the AM category at the moment as well, so another place he needs to. I think, as we've seen in the past, the AM champion usually is one that can finish in the top 10 quite regularly.
Look how late on the brakes.
Bays
was, and he had so much more straight line speed than Blake Hood as well. So I wonder if
Robert Graham off again as well.
I wonder if that's just a difference in setup there, Alex. Fusion going for the straight line speed.
Yeah, maybe, because I mean that is quite a long straight, and actually when you consider it's just a quick right-hander before that as well. It's 2 fairly long flat-out sections in this on this circuit, so you can imagine guys probably are setting their cars up very differently, because around here you need as much grip as you can possibly get, because it's very twisty and technical. So
and there's fast corners here as well, isn't there? So you need that downforce, you need the car to be behaving well. Pete Newman media teammates Alex battling for 5th.
Yeah, or Blake Hood actually, sorry Andrew, yeah, Blake Hood, he's off, and it looks like they're just where the tyre wall there. Actually, let's see if we can get a.
Oh, that's where he went.
Let's see if we can get a little replay of that, and hope it changes the camera angle slightly for us, because.
Can you get back on from there?
Yeah. Well, what happens? I think anywhere else, and it would have been a problem. But actually, there's a bit of a grass slope that leads up onto that tyre wall there, and he was able to go up the slope, and
back down.
Yeah, and then back down the other side. So after he got made contact, so
it looks like he's down to 23rd then, behind Janowski, with a bit of damage as well. So I wonder, must have had some fairly hard contact.
Yeah, it looked pretty hard. I mean, it actually just looked like just a bit of hard racing, I think, between the two. Maybe a little bit of contact, if any, and just got on both sideways. And you just know what this car's like. Sometimes once it goes, it's very difficult to get it back while you're still being pushed around a bit. So unfortunately, Hood come off worse there.
Yeah, one thing that we mentioned that we saw last time these cars were at this track in race 1 was that there wasn't a lot of passing, was there, in race 1, and we're seeing that again today. And look at Daniel Hunt now, he's right on the back of Sutton. Oculus looking like they've got a really good race set.
Yeah, Cat's not too far behind as well. And this is something else that I picked up on Sutton. He is very quick on the short runs, but does seem to eat up his tyres a little bit quicker than some of the other guys out there.
When we saw at Virginia, didn't we, Alex? He had a big moment there, I believe, didn't he? That cost him about 20 seconds when he was leading by a long way. So it's not immune to the mistakes. But Ashley, good to see him up the front again. He does bring a lot of quality to this series, and he can just keep his nose clean. I think he'll be, I think he can win the title one day if he just, attends all the races and doesn't crash into too many people.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Sutton. He's definitely got other commitments, and he has to do those as well. Both simulated and real world as well. So it's always going to be difficult for him to do a full championship. But maybe one season he'll get it in.
He's in a bit of bother here, though, mate.
Yeah, Hunt Yeah, going into the braking zone, he's going to have to do it around the outside. We know how good Ashley is on the brakes. He gets it all sorts of sideways, and I think Hunt might. No, he had a
there's
look.
no gap there.
I thought for a minute he was going to try and get the undercut, but Sutton just places his car perfectly. And actually, Baker's starting to close in on the back of Katz as well. And these four have definitely dropping the Pete Newman duo of Field and Kraft behind.
Yeah, Field and Kraft, and then it's Robert Feig and actually Ben Palmer. Good to see Ben Palmer back up there as well. We mentioned last week that he had equipment issues at the start of the season, so it's good to see him back where he was kind of, Alex, in season 7. He was up at the front nearly, wasn't he, most of the time?
Yeah, exactly. So it is good to see actually, returning faces, and it's always a kicker when your equipment is what slows you down.
Well, that's Newman's there in 9th as well.
Yeah, Pete's what's he moved up a single place since qualifying? Yeah, qualified in 10th, so up to 9th.
I think at the moment, unfortunately, we're just seeing that Sutton's under real pressure now.
Same situation again round the outside. Ashley's so good on the brakes. Gets it stopped. Goes a little bit wide this time. Maybe Hunt. No, he just didn't quite get the drive again. So
you can actually outbrake someone into turn 2, but you've got to be very brave and slightly foolish, to be honest. One thing that we need to mention though is big crash in the background. I believe that's Daniel Kraft who's gone off straight on. Did he get some help? Looks like he might have done. Yes, I think he did, from Robert Feig.
Yeah, just having a little look at the replay now. We join it as on 2 wheels, Kraft there as well, and that's what allows Fag up the inside. And then, like we were talking about, you've got to be foolish to try and hang it around there. And these guys definitely having a little bit of a fight there, and just a little tap on the rear, and straight into the tyre wall for Kraft. He's got a lot of damage on the front right of that Kia, and I'm not sure that car's going to be any good now. It's crabbing all over the place.
Look at Hunt now, every lap he's getting closer. It seems he does pull out of the slipstream momentarily, just looking to see if he can force Ashley Sutton into a mistake. One thing we need to mention, Alex, here is the incident limit. Befell a few people last time out, especially with late crashes. I've seen these guys put a couple of wheels on the grass quite regularly, especially in this turn 2. Look, Sutton's done that again. I wonder if he's got incident points piling up. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, actually, wasn't Sutton one of the drivers that fell foul of that last race or last season? So, it is very tricky through that fast left-hander there, and a lot of drivers will use the gravel. It doesn't seem to slow you down, and I think that's the reason you get the off-track, but doesn't slow you down. So,
but again, they need to watch it. I mean, Russell Laidler got disqualified meters from the line, didn't he? Feet from the line last time out after he hit a stray car. So it's been a close race, Alex, but I think, like I said, these guys, this is their pace, and Sutton goes wide again, dipping 2 wheels into the gravel, and you can do that ordinarily, but again, you've got to watch these incident points.
Yeah, it looks like Hunt too far back to make a move this time. I'm pretty sure Katz is just being quite patient. He feels quite comfortable. I think he knows he's got Baker behind him, and that's really all that matters. Field is a further place back. So, as far as he's concerned in the championship, he's extending his lead at the moment. I dare say, if Hunt doesn't get by, then he'll perhaps let his teammate through to see if he can have a little go at getting past Sutton.
Ashley's had 2 wheels on the grass 3 or 4 times the last couple of laps now. I don't know for sure whether that gives you an off track. I think this is their pace, though, isn't it, Alex? These guys, I think that's why we're not seeing the overtaking. But 11 cars separated by 8.7 seconds, so it's still been a heck of a race. And Simon Field actually now starting to come back to these guys now that, funnily enough, now that he's not under pressure from Kraft.
Yes, isn't that always the way? When you've got someone behind you, you can't focus enough ahead of you to actually do your kind of pace. So now he's clear. He's able to really push on. Let's see what he's done. Crosses the line. So everybody else
there's all sorts of jostling going on for position down the main straight. Oh, and there's contact actually there between Sutton and Dan Hunt.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
a
nothing
small
coming
tab.
of that at all. So it's all good. Just wanted to point out actually that actually Field lost a little bit of time that last time by, but he did catch the last lap. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's probably just going to ebb and flow, I would think, for the rest of the race.
Ashley again taking to the gravel. Got to be seeing that little number at the top of his screen ticking over every now and again, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know you can get away with it at a certain point. I'm not sure if you touch the gravel, if that's it, you're done. I think actually you need to be a little bit into it. So, yeah, I can't remember.
That was quite a way into it, though. He will have got one there.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain, but he's definitely driving on the edge. He's trying to wring everything out of the Here Optima. So you know we'll see, but
Baker's certainly sitting there patiently as well. You can just tell that. I think I think he thinks he can probably go a little bit quicker too, but he's decided
there might be all sorts of
to.
a kerfuffle, might there, in the last couple of laps, and then he's going to be the one who picks up the pieces.
Yeah,
as he normally does.
How often have we seen that as well? So many times. Just having a little look further back very quickly. Paul Smith has got Laura Bond hot on his tail. Robert Graham just a little bit further back. Then you've got Janoski, Blake Hood recovering back to 21st and Steve Hefford as well, who's a pit stop, I guess, involved in that carnage earlier on.
Actually,
looks like he wide over move. Is he going to do it running outside?
Smith and Bond as well.
And Steve Hefford just goes flying into the gravel trap. I thought he was going to be out into there for a minute. I didn't want to jump.
Not the first time for Steve today that he's had problem, but not his fault in the first instance. Oh, and off goes Paul Smith. He's in the trees. Is he going to get out of there? Maybe.
Oh God!
He slid all the way down the barrier. Is he going to emerge?
No, he's been jumped back into the pit lane, so that's Paul
and actually,
Smith.
there was contact down at the hairpin, Alex. You may have to get a replay up of that. Laura Bond gets 2 wheels on the grass. She brakes on the grass and wipes out Janowski, unfortunately.
If we can jump that back and catch that.
So, a bit of driver error there, but after she'd done the hard work of punting Paul Smith off the track, then it's all gone to pot there. I'll keep an eye on the leaders. Actually, lap traffic is coming, Alex, so you may have to put a hold on that. Again, 2 wheels in the gravel in turn 2.
Let's jump back live with the action then.
Lap traffic struggling to get slowed down. Out of the way. Yes, maybe. Quite. I mean, I know it's a tight track and you need to go somewhere, but the minute interfering with the leaders, I'm not even sure who that is. It's actually Martin Brandon, in fact.
Yeah, so tricky there. Unless you literally just get off the track and lose 5 or 6 seconds, so tricky for him.
Martin hasn't lost too much time there, but he has definitely cost time to Andres Katz. But
it split this pack up just a little bit, considering they were literally sort of line astern.
Sutton's very good with the traffic, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's as we've seen, he's very aggressive getting through traffic, whether it be on the same lap or back markers, and most of the time it works out in his favour. Occasionally it does backfire, and we've seen him even with a back marker, I think, with it backfire in the past. So it's worth doing because he's not under pressure from Hunt right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, I found out at the weekend that being too aggressive with back markers can sometimes end your race as such. And Ashley, now he's got smooth sailing, there's nobody in front of him, and he's going to head on to his final lap with surely a lead that he can't possibly give away now.
Just having a quick look at another interesting battle. John Roberts and John Bays, they are just, they were actually 0.2 of a second back, but actually...
They're actually just not far behind Ellis Stevens as well.
Yeah, it seems like they've just separated out, and I'm not sure who that is in the Lugnuts car, but I think he might be a back marker, isn't it?
Yeah, Smith recovered from his jaunt into the trees.
So we just wait for Sutton to cross the line, start his final lap of the race here. Just wanted to wait for the countdown to tick over, just in case I was wrong.
Actually, 1 second in front of Hunt, so...
Yeah, looks fairly comfortable. Touch on what you said about with tyres, that he does eat them up. He does seem to go through phases with the tyres, like he will abuse them a little bit and then he'll just back it off again, and actually he'll end up going faster. So Yeah, it's interesting to see how this race has panned out. I mean, anything can still happen. We just lost Russell Laidler, actually. Russell seems to have disconnected. Well, he's not showing on my screen anymore. So, yeah, it's a shame for
There was
Russ.
contact
There,
with.
he was quite
Yet
way up.
again, there was an Apex Racing TV car in the middle of the road. And Russell's hit an Apex Racing TV car for about the third time in. It was number 22. Colin Steele was in the middle of the road after a spin, and Rusty made contact.
Yeah,
Sutton's
here comes
coming for the win.
actually for take a victory here in the first of 3 races here at Summit Point tonight. So nothing really changed all race up front. Guys,
it was so important that he inched in front in the first corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it really. That's where it all happened, and of course Hunt got his teammate, and they stayed as they were as well. So Dave Burker, those 4 look very, very quick, and yeah, Simon Field had nothing for them and finishing a couple of seconds back, and good result from Ben Palmer though, 6th place. He'll be happy with that, but perhaps gutted that he missed out on top 5. But it seems like the Pete Newman cars are pretty quick here as well, as Pete Newman came in 8th place behind Rob Fagg, so he was able to pick up a couple places as well. And we saw how difficult overtake it was here, so and he had Steve Walker and Dan Blake just behind him, so yeah, everybody pretty much crossing the line now, just finishing up. Not that many movers or shakers at all, Mr. Woodhouse.
No, not really. It was a good battle though up front, wasn't it? But you got to wonder if the safety car hadn't have come out, then I think Dan Hunt would have won by quite a bit.
I think you're right there. Actually, I think he definitely had the pace to stay ahead of Ashley had he got past. Those guys were very, very equal. But yeah, you're right. He got the move done, but the safety car just come out and saved something from losing the position there.
Well, reverse grid's going to come into play as normal, and so Alex, you've got the magic dice.
Yeah, just flipping through the results right now. I'll bring that up in just a second.
It's 15th Robert Graham, then Ashley Blakehood is 16th, Hefford in 17th, Plumley in 18th, Julian Janowski 19th, Laura Bond 20th. They're the drivers eligible to go to the front. We had the maximum 20 reversed last week, didn't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can do the same thing again. One final roll. We've got it, 20. So
Laura Bond goes on to pole position.
Good for Laura. Let's hope that she
good for Elite Martini as well, because they've had a poor season, really.
Yeah, where was Ellis in that last one as well?
12th.
Yeah, 12th. So, yeah,
not bad.
That's not a bad result at all, but it's not going to get him towards the front. Smensky had his problems, so he won't be there as well. 22nd. So
looking at where they all qualified as well.
Steve as well down in
Laura
24th.
Laura didn't set a time in qualifying, so she was a little out of position anyway. Novsky 18th, Pulney 16th, they all qualified. So they all qualified because there wasn't much going on in that one. They were all in quite a similar position to where they started and where they qualified. So it's going to be a tough one picking a winner, and it's also going to be tough for those guys, those faster guys, to get through, because they don't have any, with all due respect to the guys normally finish in and around the back, they don't have any sort of slow obstacles, do they?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that's we've actually seen that in recent races becoming harder to get through as well, and people just not making mistakes ahead of them. I'm just trying to pick up on the replay. I'll see if I can bring it up. Where Ashley went off. Did he actually go off, or did he just go wide? He just went wide, didn't he? Let's see if we can get a replay of the start going anyway. Specifically, take a quick look at what happened into turn 1.
Yeah, in the first lap, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it with the front guys that we're talking about? Sorry.
Yeah, just wanted to see the front guys.
For a second.
We had a little look at what happened.
Front start was amazing. It was was it a tiny bit naughty from Sutton? to move across, or was that fine?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because once Hunt was slightly along, although once he was alongside, he left him be.
That was
Everything going off in the background, and then he went very deep in. But watch, yellow flag comes out literally as they're side by side, doesn't it?
He is saved by the bell there. There's no two ways of saying it. He got it done, actually completely screwed that first turn up. But yeah, saved by the bell, and he went on to win. I have to say, I think
it was good braking, but I think he just went in too tight, and car bounced on the curb, didn't it?
that was it. Yeah, you saw him actually, because we were just sort of on board with Hunt. You could see him just steam in there and then just catch the curb and just got it all out of shape, and he couldn't get it rotated enough. So, but yeah, he survived that one, and yeah, as we saw, went on to win.
I've just seen a message from Laura on the team chat there. Oh no, not enough practice to be on pole. So there could be problems occurring there, but yeah, we'll see, I guess, and be in race 2, Alex, mate.
Yep, thank you very much for tuning in here for round 13 of BSRTC. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time for round number 14.